What's going on, everyone? We're in a recession, and
As you probably heard, President Trump has declared that the golden age of America has already begun.
if you believe in the numbers for labor and statistic on unemployment, like right here, and you believe that all these job loss in 2025 aren't going to do anything, hey, I don't know what to tell you because
At least 10,000 laid off federal workers received notices of termination over the past week.
we're going to end up in a recession. And we can look at the stats and numbers, but let's use some common sense on this.
Numbers show negative growth for a second quarter. Some economists that I spoke to, that I've heard from, say that means we're already in a recession. What say you?
Yes, that is correct. We would be technically in some sort of recession, but a very odd one based on our experience in the last 60, basically 100 years, in the sense that we don't have very high unemployment, which unofficially is usually considered to be part of a recession too. But by definition, it's the economy shrinking in gross output, which we're probably technically basically fitting within that definition as of now.
If you have over 100,000, 200,000 people in all industry evenly lose their jobs, and then let's say a quarter of them end up losing their house or get behind on payments, what's that going to do to the market? It's going to cause a small collapse at the bare minimum. Now, it could be better, it could be worse, who knows? But at the end of the day, if we're going to look at the numbers, companies are going to be making more money. Yes. So the GDP is going to be okay because they're downsizing and doing what's best for the company to make more money for the company. That's understandable. But are we going to be in a recession because people can't afford to eat? People can't afford their houses. So we might end up in another housing crisis. And if you look at the Houston market, you see right here, it's actually decreasing in value. So with all this going on, if you don't believe that we're not in a recession, it's going to be hard to convince you otherwise. I believe we're already in a recession and there's nothing we can do about it besides take advantage of the situation. What do I mean by take advantage of the situation? Well, at the end of the day, people are going to need they're going to need to eat, and take advantage of the situation to change your job market, change your field that you want to do. So just because we're in a recession does not mean it's going to be bad for you. Now, it's going to be tougher if you lost your job in one of these major layoffs, like here, here, here. Or you can be like this person that might be losing their house, can't find a job. Or this person right here that can't find a job for the last few months.
Interviews. But the issue is right in front of you. When you open up your LinkedIn and you look at all your job applications, what do you see right away? Only one of them says that it was even viewed. And most of them just all go completely unviewed and untouched. And that's because most of these jobs aren't actually real. And I can confirm this now as someone who worked within a company and whose friend worked within a very large company we'll call saline forces. One day I noticed they had hundreds and hundreds of jobs listed on LinkedIn, and I was like, oh, I should apply and come work with you. It would be fun. And he said, none of those jobs are probably real. We just keep posting the same jobs over and over again, and most of them aren't even real, so that it looks like we're constantly growing and doing well to people on the outside. And most companies do this. Even one of the companies I worked for did this. We would always have a couple jobs posted for our department just in case like the perfect Goldilocks person came along to fit it. But for the most part, it wasn't really a real job. They're referred to as ghost jobs, but there's no way of knowing at first glance which ones are real and which ones are fake. So they all go into counting to these numbers. That allegedly the job market has 1.4 positions posted for every person looking. I don't know why we're not
7, 8 months. So they have all these signs that we are in a recession. Now, if you want to say, hey, we're not in a recession because our economy's doing good, well, that's not the only factor you need to look at, because the economy is doing good because that's our numbers that are being put out. The labor and statistic number is saying that less and less people are on unemployment. Well, at the end of the day, they're behind on reporting. So if they're behind on reporting, guess what? They're gonna not use it for their advantage. Well, they're gonna use it for their advantage. Let's be smart with it. So you can have more and more people on unemployment. So we're in a recession. So what can you do if we're in a recession? Well, some of the factors that put us in recession, I think, is gonna be high interest rate for one. Two, it's going to be, that tariff war is going to be going on for a while. And it's going to affect us. And then three, the people are losing their jobs. If that's not a recession, I don't know what is. With the U.S. economy said they add 256,000 jobs in December. And with unemployment, say it ticked down 4.1%. Those numbers, I believe, are behind. But at the end of the day, we have the highest credit card debt we ever have, $1.17 trillion. And then if you split it down to, hey, everyone's losing their jobs, tariff again, what's going to happen? We're going to be in recession. People's going to be having issues. Now, what should you do in a recession? Save money? Well, you can save money, but at the end of the day, I tell you to do these things in a recession. Invest your money. Because if you start investing your money and when it's going down, you're going to have the biggest return. And we learned this in COVID. If you invested in your money during COVID time, you had great returns on your portfolio. Now, a lot of people start selling right now because what are people doing right now to make ends meet? They're selling their 401ks, they're selling their stocks, they're selling their dividends, they're selling their bitcoins, and they're selling their rental houses or their investment houses to make ends meet. So it's a perfect time to start picking up these investments. Now, will you get great returns? That I can't tell you. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to focus on the stock market and not the real estate market because I think the real estate market's going to be another year or two before they're really going to see it really affect. But the stock market, I see, is going to have a big effect. So some of the stocks I'm going to buy is this one, and this one because I believe AI is going to have a big boom anyways. So guess what? I'm going to invest in these three stocks and keep going. Now, if you are having issues to find a job, I'm sorry to hear that, but hey, what can we do to help you in this situation? Is fix your resume to match a job description by 80-90%, and you should be fine. Now, with the slowing down of hiring, no way we're not in a recession. Now, end of the day, I think we're in a recession, and pretty much that's all I got for you. These are my proof that we're in a recession, and this is what I'm going to do in a recession is invest my money into stocks and bonds to get a better returns. And that's what I'm going to be doing in 2025. Hopefully, y'all take advantage of the situation like I am.